Spotlight on Florida is brought to you in part by Response Marketing Group. You are looking at the state capital of Florida, newly decorated for the 250th birthday of America. Brand new decorations up. And that is the site. We are on the road again for Spotlight on Florida. Kenzie Krieger, Joel Silver here for another big Wednesday. Your update on what's happening in tourism news.
Palm Beach County is celebrating a big win for tourism, setting a new visitor record in 2025 with more than 10.7 million people choosing to visit. Those travelers are generated roughly $7.7 billion in spending and an estimated $11.7 billion economic impact for the region. Local leaders say that kind of growth supports jobs, strengthens local businesses, and helps fund community improvements like beach maintenance, cultural attractions, and infrastructure. It is a major driver for the local economy and a key reason Florida continues to attract visitors from around the world.
Florida's Space Coast is celebrating a tourism win that is also getting attention in the culinary world. A Brevard County chef has been named a semifinalist for the prestigious James Beard Award for Best Chef in the South, one of the highest honors in the restaurant industry. Tourism leaders say recognition like this helps put the region on the map as a food destination, giving visitors another reason to explore beyond the beaches and rocket launches. They are also using the momentum to spotlight historic sites, upcoming events tied to America's 250th anniversary, and new marketing efforts aimed at travelers looking for culture, history, and unique local experiences. Leaders say it's a great example of how food, events, and storytelling can work together to bring new visitors to the Space Coast and keep tourism growing.
Miami's tourism is on a major upswing, with new data showing record travel demand helping kick off the year at Miami International Airport and across the city. Tourism leaders say expanded international service and new nonstop routes are bringing in more global travelers, while strong hotel bookings and a rise in blended business and leisure trips are fueling the surge. Visitors are not just coming to the beaches either. They're showing up to Miami's culture, dining scene, arts, and major events, helping transform the city into a year-round destination. This is a big win not just for Miami, but for Florida's tourism industry as a whole, as the state continues to see strong travel momentum.
All right, time to move on. Now, in today's special interview, this is a good one. As you know, we told you at the beginning of the show, big news in the tourism world, at least, of what's happening back at the state capitol. A brand new bill passed, and we're naming a new state bird. Now, the bill only passed in the House of Representatives. It still has some stops to go, but people are pretty excited about it.
It's exciting, too, because as of right now, the Florida state bird is the mockingbird, and obviously there's a lot of controversy around that, but they're hoping it can become the flamingo, and honestly, I'm a little biased. I think that that is iconic to Florida. I think the flamingo would be awesome, and we had a great interview talking to a woman that has experience in Alabama and all across the country with states that have had similar things happen, and I thought that that was really interesting.
Yeah, so it was cool. Check out this interview where we talk about ways that people use their state bird to help tourism. All right, folks, it is time to update you on the legislative session. As you know, a lot of things happen at the Capitol that can affect tourism. Just this past week in the House of Representatives, a bill was passed by Representative Jim Mooney. He has been trying to pass this for a few years, and it finally went into effect. It was to name the official state bird the flamingo. Everybody is very excited about this bill. It passed the House almost unanimously. Let's take a quick listen to some of his comments as it passed the House floor.
Thank you all for supporting this. I know it's been fun because we don't have a lot of fun around here from time to time. But this is a serious bill. This reminds me of McClure's bill a few years ago, that strawberry shortcake that almost cost me an election. But you know what? It was bigger than that cake. It was about the farming industry and the strawberries. So with that, I close.
Okay, that was the scene on the House floor. And now joining me, Holly Chakowski, a policy consultant all over the country, specializes in tourism. Holly, welcome to Spotlight on Florida.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Exciting goings on in your state legislature.
Isn't this amazing? This is big news here. Our representative, Jim Mooney, is from Key West. He's been working on this bill for some time. And he is elated, I think, that this bill has finally passed the House of Representatives, still needs to go to the Senate, still needs to be signed by the governor. However, we thought you'd be the perfect guest to come on here because we know that you know about similar situations that happened in other states when the state bird was passed. And you recently reported and talked about what happened in Alabama. Is that right? Tell us what happened.
Sure. Well, a couple years ago, Alabama actually made their state bird their whole tourism theme for the year and did a lot of work around, their natural resources, but also birding. Birding has become a huge segment of tourism, draws a lot of people. And so I think, there's a lot of opportunities for Florida around this. You're catching on with this, this tourism trend.
Absolutely.
Right. And at the same time, it's something a little different than the way we think of Florida. I mean, I think you think of your natural resources as the Everglades, but I think it's a chance too to get people to get out and experience some other natural resources they may not have thought about immediately for Florida. So I think that's exciting. And I think it's also these naming our state stone, our state bird, our state food, those things are important because it pulls us together as a state. I mean, we're kind of a transient society, so it's nice to be able to rally around some things and have that shared identity. But I think it's also important to update those things. And I think a lot of people when they think of Florida, they do think of the flamingo. So this is that opportunity to do some rebranding, to maybe kind of hardwire that a little bit more. And again, to draw people into Florida around things they may not have thought about, have some new experiences.
Yeah. It's all pretty interesting. If you go to the fourth floor of our state capitol, all our state symbols are listed. The state bird and the state tree and the state flower and all that. It's all up there. So it is really cool. And a lot of people don't know about all these different things that represent our state. But yeah, so it happens from time to time around the country. You're right. So I thought that's why we would talk to you today. So in Alabama, tell me, did they just do it for a year? They renamed the state bird just for a year or permanently?
No, it was the state bird. They just named their tour. They did a whole tourism campaign for the year. The state tourism campaign was focused on the year of the yellowhammer, which is
okay. And that's the state bird. Never even heard of a yellowhammer. So that's exactly. It, huh?
No.
In Alabama. And what is the significance of the yellowhammer bird to Alabama?
I think it's just native, but they've got they had a really beautiful like Audubon painting of it. So they had some great artwork to do, and actually like their big newsletter, political newsletter is the yellowhammer. I mean, you see it through a lot of sort of state identifying things. So again, it's also that chance to capitalize on this growing trend of bird watching. People are really interested. It seems a little crazy, but
yeah,
but they love it. I think it's also just that chance to be quiet, to get out into nature. And you don't have to, it doesn't take a lot of equipment, right? You don't have to buy a kayak. You don't have to buy anything, binoculars,
I think you're right. I think everybody loves it. And it's a way for everybody to be able to participate in it too, because you can go out and you can see your state bird. But it's really cool. You're right, from a tourism perspective and a marketing perspective. So I assume if this passes, there'll be some campaigns done with the flamingo, and you think that's a smart idea, huh?
Sure. I think also, it's just smart to have new material to work with too. So there's a marketing hook there, and then just something new to roll out and, get people excited about.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard our story, but for years it's been the mockingbird here, which really had no specific tie to Florida, no specific fame in Florida. It actually is the state bird for many, many states. And I think back when they started naming these things, they thought the mockingbird would be good. But really,
it's kind of a mean bird. If you've ever had one in your neighborhood, they're very, very territorial.
Wow.
We had one on my street, and when I used to, every morning when they had babies, you had to like dodge the mockingbird because it would, and it did. It hit me in the head a couple of times. It would dive bomb you.
I'll tell you what, this should have come up in debate on the House floor. I mean, they should have talked about that. Who knew the mockingbird was? But yeah, this is, and this is also
a literary link for people, to kill a mockingbird. I mean, it is funny how these trends like take over,
This is all so fun. I think they got it out of the way here because, it's something that everybody could rally around and enjoy. And everybody's excited about this flamingo. So, what was the campaign around the yellowhammer? Just to get out and do and go and birding and go see nature?
Right. And then all the, branding stuff that goes with that, the t-shirts, the posters, all of their visuals, everything, and you could put that out, right? You put out a logo, you do whatever, and then all of your local CVBs, your local tourism offices can use that. So that's the thing about the state office, right? They offer that overarching theme, and then everybody else gets to sort of use that in the way that works for theirs. And in fact, one of the things I told when I was there at the state conference, I was like, it was just such a great, the poster and the t-shirt were really great. I was like, are you guys going to send this to your congressional delegation? Because that's something they can hang up in their office. And it was like, oh, good idea. So it's also those, when you do these things and you have those overarching themes, it's also a chance to connect, your elected officials with the work that you're doing.
I think it's exciting. I know you do this tourism stuff nationally. So what do you think about Florida?
I think Florida is always an exciting state. They're always on the cutting edge. There's a lot going on. And one of the things I think about Florida is that people just don't realize how diverse it is. I mean, it's a big state. And there's, it's more than just, Miami or Key West or cruises. There's just a lot going on. And I think, one of the things with this Flamingo is I think it's that chance for people to get out and have some experiences they may not have thought about when they were going to Florida.
We do love to celebrate the diverse amount of things you can do in this state. And there is so much to do. And you pretty much have everything here in Florida that you can participate in. But no, we're excited. We got the Flamingo. I knew you knew about the Yellowhammer, so I thought you would be the perfect person to talk to. And hopefully we'll get you back on another time if we have more questions.
Sure, that'd be great. It was nice talking to you. All right.
Thanks, Hallie, for joining us. More Spotlight on Florida right now. All right, a big thank you to Hallie. Thanks so much. Once again, Kenzie, we're standing here in front of the state capitol where all the action is happening. Right now, lawmakers are in session. So that bill that passed the House of Representatives needs to go to the Senate, and then it needs to go to the governor, and then who knows, it might be a tourism campaign for you very soon.
It's interesting. They've been trying to do it for years. We talked to Mooney, and so he's been working on this for a long time. It'll be really interesting to see what happens.
Okay, speaking of marketing, speaking of tourism, this is our event of the week, and if you didn't see our coverage at Florida Huddle and Florida Encounter, you missed a whole lot. Be sure you go back on our social media channels and see some of the interviews we did. We did some live, we did some recorded. Huddle and Encounter were great.
Oh yeah, it was so much fun. We were in Orlando for a few days and we met so many leaders in the tourism industry and we did a lot of interviews with them. So that's what this is all about. But that event was so successful. We saw so many people there.
Just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people from tourism from all over the state. It was so much fun. Let's go now. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of Huddle and Encounter 2026.
We are here at Florida Huddle and Florida Encounter, two concurrent shows produced by Visit Florida to bring together tour operators, travel agents, industry professionals, and meeting planners so that they can conduct business, network, make connections, and drive tourism in Florida. We're really pleased with the registrations that we had this year. In fact, we have grown from last year. We continue to offer this valuable platform to our partners, and we've seen some really great engagement.
One thing I love about this show is the fact that you can meet so many people in an appointment format. It's really, really good to be able to sit down and get some great ideas and meet some new people.
I am here at Florida Huddle and I'm having a great time. I'm meeting new people. It's my first time attending and it's been just such a wonderful experience to get to connect and really just a positive experience, a wonderful opportunity.
Being able to talk to our partners about things that are happening. Our industry is always changing. So being able to stay up with trends and things that we need to know about that are happening that might not be that relevant until you start having a conversation. Conversation leads to knowledge and insights that you might not get over email. So again, these in-person meetings are so important.
I can't express my love to this event because we received so many leads. We're actually working already on the proposal for over 100,000 grants right now this morning for one of our hotels. So thank you, Encounter.
So, I mean, that was a short video, but but still a lot of excitement, and there was a whole lot more that happened.
Oh yeah, it didn't even showcase the whole event. We had so many fun things. I mean, Orlando's a blast. We were at the Hilton, so we got to talk to so many different people, and Visit Florida was a huge part of it. So that was amazing to talk with them as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Visit Florida, they're so great what Visit Florida does, and they put on this event every year. And what we heard from everybody was how great the event was. So we actually got to talk at our news desk with Brian Griffin, the CEO of Visit Florida. Let's take a look. From the Hilton Orlando on International Drive, we are back at the news desk, Florida Huddle, Florida Encounter, and check out who we have at the desk now. It is Brian Griffin, CEO and President at Visit Florida. Such a thrill to have you here. Brian, we have been here for 2 days watching all this action, and the mood here at both meetings is just incredible. What are you hearing?
I'm hearing and seeing the same thing. So Visit Florida puts this platform together so that we can bring industry professionals, suppliers, and buyers together, both in tour and travel operator space and in the meeting space, so they can conduct business, create new travel products, and find new opportunities to drive tourism and business in Florida. I have certainly seen our partners taking advantage of that. Walking around, we've got these appointments that are running very quickly. We've got a DJ calling the time to make sure everyone stays on time. It's good, structured, economic driving, and it's brought to you by Visit Florida.
I love it. And we've talked to so many people, and everybody is saying that. And they just love this event, and they say it's helping drive business and do those things. And I've seen you everywhere as well. I mean, you know, as the new CEO and president, you're so active already. I've seen you on stage. I've seen you actually doing meetings. So you're enjoying all this.
Oh, very much so. I mean, what could be better than Florida tourism, right? And I'm from Florida, and in this position, I get to travel around Florida, meet with partners, which I love doing. But being here, we've got everyone together in the same place. So you've got the opportunity to bump into new opportunities, new people, make new connections, and then also get through a really long list of appointments and save a lot of time. So it's just something that we do to help provide a way for our industry to continue to keep their momentum, right? We're the #1 tourism destination in the United States is Florida. We continue to be the choice all over the world for international travelers. We want to keep that momentum going. That requires us to get the team together every once in a while, circle the wagons, and see what we can do.
That's incredible. And it's events like this that do that. And it's just such a great thing to hear. And there is no team better than Visit Florida. And there are so many team members that make all this happen. And it really is a great event.
Yeah, thank you so much. We do have a great team and we have a great industry. It's really nice to work with all the people that are here. That makes certainly the job easier, and connections and networking. But also it's good to just, reassess what is it that we're doing that's working and where can we find new opportunity to grow in those spaces that are working. That's what Huddle and Encounter are about. Did you know that half of all travelers to Florida are from Latin America now? So we're actually driving that continued growth to make sure that stays strong.
That's unbelievable. And we love all the things we're hearing here. Tourism seems strong. So I want to thank you so much for joining us. Outstanding event. And stay tuned. We have more updates to come. Okay, a big thank you to Brian Griffin and Visit Florida for hosting the event and allowing our cameras to be there. And Kenzie, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Spotlight on Florida.
We'll see you next time.